track record of how many cabinet subcommittees you chaired
Yes.
while in office. Yeah. This was at a time when some quarters were saying you did not perform as deputy president. Are you saying that in the many committees you hosted or you chaired of the cabinet, this did not come out?
ADANI did not come.
Did the Social Health Authority come out?
Yes, it did.
In the subcommittees?
Yes, it did.
What was your position on it?
My position then, as it is today, is one, it was hurried. And there was no sufficient reason to move hastily from NHIF to the new program. And from my own reasoning, when I even looked at the mathematics surrounding that program, is that it would have cost us between 700 to 800 million to upgrade the system that was running the NHIF to make it compliant. Yet we are moving to a new program that is costing 104 billion shillings. And in my view, my very honest view, that's the crux of the matter. That is a rush. That is a focus, the 104 billion. And when you listen, Karanja, me, I'm a people's person. And probably many people thought that I'm a rebel within government. I was not a rebel. I was a deputy president of a popularly elected government that is answerable to the people. And in my view, we in government are the employees of the people. And the people are your employers. And their opinion counts. And you cannot dismiss what they think and what they feel. And that is why even members of parliament were accusing me of intimidating them when I told them to listen to the ground during the Finance Bill 2024. It's because myself, I do listen to the ground, and I take time to listen to what people are saying. If you listen now to patients, they are going through hell. One, in NHIF, you would pay 500 shillings for the whole family. Maybe say you have your wife, and maybe say 2 children like myself. 4 of us will pay 500 shillings for the ordinary people. Now, in this new program, it's each individual. So you find people having a problem with that. Number 2, you find that the private hospitals have not embraced this program. The program was rushed before all the stakeholders were brought on board. So you find that you have been deducted money in your payslip. Then when you go to a hospital of your choice, you cannot be treated. And that is the frustration that the people of Kenya are going through. And I am a very strong believer that your employer is ultimate. And the feeling of your employer is so central in whatever decision that you make.
In this case, the employer here are the people of Kenya.
The people of Kenya.
Your Excellency.
And if you find the people are up in arms, and everybody is complaining, the stakeholders are complaining, Kenyans are complaining, you simply cannot ignore them and decide that you must do what you have decided because it's a government program. Because that government program is meant to benefit some people. And if the beneficiaries of that program are uncomfortable with its implementation, with its component, with the way it is being rolled out, you have a responsibility as a leader who is elected all the time to take into consideration the views of the people.
This responsibility you had when you chaired the cabinet subcommittees in which the shift from NHIF to SHA came. And for Kenyans who do not understand the workings of government, many of whom are watching today, you may need to tell them, if indeed it's true that you did not agree or you said it was rushed because it came to a cabinet subcommittee you chaired, how did it end up in the cabinet? You're the second most powerful person.
Cabinet will work on policies. The issue is not the policies, the implementation. In terms of timelines, in terms of the transition, it's now Ask the people, what do you think about this program? If there is a lot of resentment, if there is a lot of rejection, it behoves you as an administration to take into consideration the views of the people. You know, I have seen an advisor in the president's office telling people that their children will not be allowed to go to school unless you register for this program. You know, that is coercion. That is intimidation. If something is good, Ibrahim, it is people who should be rushing to register. You know, a good package, something that is attractive, something that is beneficial to the people. You know, it is upon people to rush and do it. But if it reaches where you have to intimidate people and blackmail them, that unless you register for this program, your child will not be admitted to school, there is a problem somewhere. Why are you setting conditions?
Mr. Gachagua, what level of responsibility are you taking in this situation that we are in? You're speaking about a government that does not listen. You served in this government for close to 2.5 years. Are you surely lifting your hands and saying, I am not responsible for anything?
But Karanja, you had the charges against me in the Senate. These are some of the charges that were brought against me. Insubordination, because of saying, no, this is not right. I'm told I'm insubordinating the president. I was accused of not living to the principle of collective responsibility, because in some instances, I would say, no, this is wrong. I've listened to the people, and this program is anti-people. So you cannot sit here and ask me to take responsibility when you know that some of the charges against me before the National Assembly and the Senate was that I went to the side of the people. I'm a people's person.
Charges which you, through your lawyers, completely refuted.
That's what I'm saying. I said, like, we were told to go and supervise the demolition of homes along Nairobi River. And I said, no. And I say that is not insubordination, that is doing the right thing. Because, one, a government should not have war, be at war with the citizens. We had made a commitment as the Kenya Kwanza administration that if we are elected to office, we will not have brutal evictions and inhuman relocation of citizens. And here I'm being told to do it, and I say, no, I will not do it. And I was defending that charge to say what I did is the right thing, because even if you look at the UN Charter, there are certain ways how you relocate people. So I have gotten where I am today because in many instances, I refuse to betray the people of Kenya.
Fair enough.
I refuse to betray the people of Kenya. And what is not right, I said it's not right. And where people had a big problem with a program, I will tell Mr. President, the people have a problem with this
Fair
program.
enough. You have mentioned that the crux of the matter, and I'm sorry for taking you back, but it's really important that you bring it out. The crux of the matter on SHA is 104 billion shillings that was being used for the system. What do Kenyans need to know about this?
Kenyans need to speak out. You know,
they need to speak out about something they know
104 billion shillings, Karanja. It's not 104 shillings. It's serious money. And experts have told me that it was possible to improve the existing system that was in NHIF at a cost of between 7 to 800 million. Here we are spending over 100 billion. And from where I sit, when I look at the whole rush of this SHA shift thing, it is because of this 104 billion. That is where the issue is.
And because in this you were in cabinet, who was tasked in handling this? Who was tasked?
The Ministry of Health. Again, the president works here as a team of economic advisors who do most of the work with him before things can come to cabinet. This is where all these details were worked out. And you have heard that even people in that economic advisory council, their spouses are involved in that system. There is clearly a conflict of interest, you know, and the whole thing is not straight. And That is why Kenyans are agitated. Why would you want to spend 104 billion shillings on a system that is not necessary? It was quite okay to improve the existing one, between 700 to 800 million to do the same purpose. So you can see some people somewhere are conflicted. And that is why the rush, because for this 104 billion to come out, the thing needs to be rushed.
Who are the platform providers on SHA? Because I have seen documents from the Ministry of Health that indicate that for every amount that SHA will be paying for each procedure done or for each service offered, some amount will be heading or directed to a platform provider.
I think 25% or something like that.
Who are these platform providers?
No, I was not involved. Nobody involved regarding Gachagua. I was not involved in the procurement. I was not involved in the conceptualization of this SHA thing. I was just there. And that's why I'm saying many times I was being told, President said that I failed to defend. He said when he was unveiling his deputy, he accused me of having left him alone to defend government programs and failed to support him to defend government programs. But how do I defend things I don't know, Karanja? I can't go to defend that SHA thing. The use of 104 billion, I would be out of my mind to come to television to support something that, in my view, is ridiculous, and which from every perspective is pure theft of public funds. I cannot defend such things. I was being told to defend ADANI. You know, I said one day I was in a funeral somewhere in Trans Nzoia, and I think the senator for Kisii, Richard Onyonka, came very hard on government because of ADANI. And I was the last to speak, and I said nothing about the issue. So one of people around the president called me and really abused me, that government was being attacked and you did not defend. How do I defend theft? I cannot defend corruption. I am a man of integrity. And much as probably the president says that I did not defend government programs, he is right to a certain extent. I defended the ones that were above board. Anything I did the alcohol program, I worked on it. Registration of farmers for fertilizer program, I defended, I worked on it the last day. Coffee reforms, I defended. Tea reforms, I defended. Anything that was above board, that was in public interest, I defended. But issues of corruption, issues of theft of public funds, I could not go and defend. And he must forgive me. I asked President William Ruto to forgive me. I'm sorry, my former boss. ADANI, I could not help you to defend. SHA, I could not afford. I could not help you to defend. If the deputy you have picked can defend theft and corruption, let him go ahead. Because he is not elected, he is your person. So he's answerable to you. But me, I was elected. I have the mandate of the people. And therefore, I'm answerable to some people. So I could not go and defend something that is anti-people because I'm elected by the people. You know that this is where the difference between me and the current deputy president is. He is an appointee of President William Ruto. He must defend religiously anything the president says and wants because that is his employee. I was not an employee of President William Ruto. I was an employee of the people of Kenya. It was therefore right for me to fail to defend anything that is anti-people.
All right, Your Excellency, 2 weeks ago, or less than 2 weeks ago,